So before I start with my talk for today, while they're setting up my presentation, I just wanna request a small activity. Let's do a quick icebreaker. All right. So are you guys familiar with crowd wave? Crowd wave. Crowd. Yeah, yeah. So from my left side, going to the right. Okay. You guys will stand up and do the wave, right? Crowd wave. So from left to right and then right to left. Okay. So yeah, you have to sit down first, and then this first column will stand up, and then going on. Okay. So I will take a video for the crowd wave, and I need your energy and cooperation. Okay. So, all right. Let me count to 3. Okay. So, are you guys ready? All right. Energy. So, yeah, so let me introduce myself. So, as mentioned by our host, I've been in the IT industry for more than 17 years. Okay, so I was started as a junior engineer, and then eventually got promoted team lead, tech lead, and then currently an engineering manager. So I'm also a Six Sigma certified. So are you guys familiar with Six Sigma? Right? So it's about process improvement. So removing waste in the organization or the teams or the company. So I'm also a Magento Dev 1 certified. So Magento is an e-commerce platform. So it's similar to like Shopify or WooCommerce. So Magento has Dev 1 and Dev 2. So I have Dev 1 certified. And Scrum Master. So especially nowadays, I think almost all organizations are using Agile Scrum. So yeah, that's why I have that certification. So currently I'm engineering manager. So our company is Full Speed Technologies. So you can look that up with the web. So we are a Japanese company. So we're based here. We have our branch for 7+ years. So mainly, hello? Yeah. So mainly we do software development, and also we develop systems and also mobile applications. So we just recently launched our new services. Hello? Oh yeah. So our new services is about software development, outsourcing, and yeah, we also have a pool of engineers. So if ever some companies are in need of programmers, we can cater to that service. Okay. So engineering manager, you might be asking like, what is an engineering manager, right? So mainly, I have 2 main functions, which is also my passion as an engineering manager. First one is product delivery. Okay, so project or product delivery and making sure we deliver with high quality always. Okay, and second one is growing my members. So in a company, the members or the employees are the main core of an organization. So I'm passionate in growing my members. Okay, so yeah, feel free to connect with me. This is my LinkedIn. If ever, yeah, you wanna talk later. Okay. So, yeah, I also had some past speaking engagements. So the first one, I apologize for the picture. So this was back then in 2013. So I did a talk in MCWD. So during that time, I also I also trained them with basic programming for their IT department. Okay, and then in 2015, 2018, this was in Laravel, Cebu. So I had a lightning talk in EA office. And then last 2022, I went to Davao. I attended the IT Congress event. So there were many universities. So I did a talk about digital advertising and marketing. Okay. And then, yeah, just this year, we had another Laravel event. So in our office. So our office is in HM Tower in IT Park. So if you wanna visit our office, so feel free to message me as well. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, from code to leadership. inspiring engineers to embrace leadership roles. So that is my talk for today. I apologize, this is not WordPress related, okay? But I had experience. I was also a developer, so I used to develop great plugins, themes, probably 8 or 9 years ago, okay? So for today, I'll be sharing 4 important lessons, okay, throughout my career. So I started as a junior engineer until now as a manager. And what I'm also hoping is to inspire, okay, inspire everyone to embrace leadership roles. By the end of my talk, I hope I can convert or encourage everyone to be leaders today, okay? So thank you. All right, so for my first, lesson number 1. So there are no shortcuts, okay? So there are no shortcuts, meaning to achieve success, one must be willing to put in the necessary time and effort and make sacrifices, work consistently, and towards your goal or your objectives. This might involve facing challenges, setbacks, and obstacles along the way. So this is a graph data. This is coming from World Bank. So they have this record of the internet users worldwide. So this one is for Philippines. And they have they release this record every 5 years. Okay, so that's why it's 2020. So right now, we're currently, I think for this year, we're now around 60% for the internet users, so more than half. But 2020, it was 47%. So you can see here also, I hope you can see here from the back, Vietnam is currently 70%, okay? And Thailand is 77%. So we're still below in terms of the number of internet users. So back then, when I was a junior developer, so this was in 2008, okay? 2008, we were just 6.2% internet users of the population, the Philippines. Vietnam was 23% and Thailand was 18%, okay? So can you just imagine 2008, how difficult and hard for us programmers to learn and find answers in the web. So we had to be resourceful. We had to read some books and ask many senior engineers. So in 2008, the internet was super slow. Okay, the way you access internet is you can go to either you go to the computer station, or if you have internet, but still the internet was still slow. And then mobile data was not yet available back then, right? So there were few resources, and it was challenging for us engineers. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, right. If we were looking for resources in the web, usually we can just find few blogs or resources written in the internet. There were only few online courses, and then similar to this event, meetups or conferences were very few, were really hard to find. Okay, so you can just imagine being a programmer back then. It's mainly a struggle for everyone. So one of the Stack Overflow. Who are using or familiar with Stack Overflow? Raise your hand. All right. So for engineers, I think this is our best friend, right? So we would type in. Who are not familiar with Stack Overflow? Who have not used Stack Overflow or first time? Okay. So we can post our questions. Whenever we're stuck on our task, we can post questions, right? And then somebody from around the globe can answer our question in just a few minutes or a few hours. So back then, 2008, probably 2007 to 2010, Stack Overflow was just created. Okay, so there were few resources. If we were looking for solutions, there were only few answers and solutions. Okay, so yeah, this is also one of the reason for engineers that we were struggling during that time. Okay, so again, going back, there are no shortcuts. So what this really means is that in achieving something, either success or accomplishing significant, typically requires a great deal of effort, okay, hard work, dedication, and persistence. Success cannot be achieved quickly or easily, and that shortcuts are not viable options. Okay, so meaning you have to go through a lot of steps and a lot of processes. So in order to learn something, you have to really understand the fundamentals, the reason behind, right? So it also includes like dealing with mistakes and failures. So as what they said, they say fail fast, okay, but then learn faster. So we had experienced a lot of roadblocks along the way, and then yeah, shortcuts. Like if you're going from point A to point Z, you need to learn first point A, B, C, D, right, and so on. So that was our experience back then. Okay, so do you guys know who these are? Right, the first picture, Oprah Winfrey. Second one is Elon Musk. The third one is J.K. Rowling. All right. So Oprah Winfrey, she's actually a self-made billionaire. So she started her career as a news anchor before. So and then eventually she got promoted and she got her first talk. And then eventually she built a media empire. Okay. So and then Elon Musk. So he's obviously a tech billionaire. So Twitter, SpaceX, Tesla, right? So back then he founded several businesses. It was risky, and then he was able to like pivot and really help grow his business. Okay, and then the last one is J.K. Rowling. So she's the author of Harry Potter, right? Who is have seen Harry Potter movies or a fan. Okay, so Harry Potter is one of the best-selling book and popular movie, right? So before it got published, she actually experienced a lot of rejections. Okay, so there were many company or people that rejected her many times. So it's like failure is part of being successful as well, right? So just because they became successful, I mean, before they became successful, they had a lot of failures and mistakes. So which begs the question, why are we afraid of failing? Who can answer that question? Who wants to answer that question? Why are we afraid of failing? Why are we afraid of committing mistakes? Right? So, and then if you come to think of it, if you are afraid of failing, if you are afraid of trying something, it actually limits ourselves. Right? It actually limits our potential. So if we just pursue on that path, like being afraid, we will be limiting ourselves. So we have to be less afraid of failing, right? So in fact, if we don't even try, we try less. Just because something that is so disappointing, like if you fail, like if you work hard on something and then you fail, of course you feel bad, right? But don't let that stop you, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the matter is that we have to try. Right? We have to try. We have to work hard. We have to try hard, and then eventually we will reach our destination or our goal in life. Okay. So lesson number 2. This is about, yeah, this is also one thing that I've learned, and even until now. So being a work in progress. Okay, so just because we fail, it doesn't mean that you cannot be a work in progress. You can still continue and pursue your dreams. So being a work in progress is important because it allows you to continuously grow and and develop as a person, adapt to change, and approach challenges with resilience and a positive attitude. So I'm a strong believer of continuous improvement and continuous learning. Okay, so when I always hear about comfort zone, to me that's actually a bad thing. It hinders us from growing, from our growth, right? So right now, I'm also continuing to widen my knowledge and skills, even though I'm currently in the engineering manager position. So back then, so I started as a junior, then eventually got promoted as tech lead, team lead. So I also took several certifications as well. So I mentioned about Magento Dev. So for that one, one of our client in that company, they were actually looking for certified Magento. So Magento is an e-commerce, so they're looking for certified engineers because Magento is dealing with payment, products and yeah, selling stuff. So I had to took the Magento certification and I passed. And of course, the Six Sigma. So in my previous company as well, we were a healthcare insurance company. So we had to they let us enroll to a certification so that we can focus on how to improve our systems and our organization. And then Scrum Master. So for that one, I saw the need of having a Scrum Master in our organization. So with my own pocket, with my own money, so I enrolled for a Scrum Master certification. And that was actually helpful for my team and for my company. So, and then currently, so since I believe in a work in progress, so I'm planning for PMP, Project Management Professional certification. Okay, so even though I'm an engineering manager, I'm still looking for ways to improve and have more skills. Okay, so these are two of the popular people right now. So Bill Gates. So we all know who's Bill Gates, right? So in his book, The Road Ahead. I don't know if you guys have read that book, The Road Ahead. So Gates talked about his view of himself as a work in progress, okay, and the importance of adapting to new technologies and new ideas, right? And then Michelle Obama, okay, so in her book Becoming, okay, she talked about how she views herself as a work in progress and how she continues to learn and grow even after leaving the White House. So yeah, if we are book lovers here, so yeah, you can check this out, okay? And for myself, starting from junior, mid-level, senior level, and then eventually tech lead, it was also a struggle for me. And I always keep my hunger for learning new things and just finding ways to improve during my career as a developer. So my passion before was mainly on web development. Okay, and then being a work in progress, it also entails mistakes and failures. So I remember one time in our previous company, so I was assigned to a front end development task. So this was back in 2008, okay, 2008 or 2009, and I was assigned to a front end development task. But back then, a front end was not that popular before. So, by the way, who are programmers here? Engineers? Can you raise your hands? Only a few? Okay. All right, so front end is, front end technologies, it's mainly what you see in the website, right? So like the UI, the design. So the effects, those are front-end related. Back then, it was not that popular. HTML, CSS, that was the technology used. But around 2007, back-end development was more popular, was a big thing. So PHP, Java, even MySQL and other back-end technologies. So when you are looking for resources for front-end related tech, there's only a few resources on the web. So I was assigned to a task in the front end, and for that task, it was actually a registration form, right? And then there was a pop-up, there was a button. When you click the button, it will show a pop-up. And then in that pop-up box, you will populate a record coming from the database. So it was API related. So the only way to do that was to use Ajax. Are you guys familiar with Ajax? Right? So right now, I mean, there's a lot of nice technology, higher versions. So that now it's not a problem anymore. So I was working on that task. My task was supposedly 1 day for the estimation. It took me 3 days. Okay? And then on the third day, I remember my supervisor came to my table, and he was sitting around after lunchtime until I finished my task. So our office back then was fully air conditioned. Sorry. But I was sweating very hard. I was very nervous, right? He was like Hitler sitting beside me and ready to I don't know, punch me anytime or something. So it was one of my nerve-wracking experiences as well, being a junior engineer back then. And then there's also one thing that it's actually a funny experience of mine. I vividly remember it was September 14, 2010. Okay, so I was working in a graveyard company, and I was testing. For MySQL, it was a new thing for me. So I was testing the technology. So I was testing in my local, in my staging server, but around 11 p.m. or 11:30, I didn't notice, and my colleague just called me that the production of a certain website was lost. There were no data. When we click the website, it's not showing anymore. So he told me, did I do something? And I found out that I actually dropped the production database. Okay? So I dropped the production database. But don't ask me why, by the way. Okay, I was still a junior mid-level. So I was, I was also in panic mode already. So I asked my teammate, what should we do? Or how can we solve this problem? The good thing is that project was actually not related to e-commerce or complicated website. It was just a tourism website. And then the website, there was just like information contents of a certain city or country. Okay, so the good thing is that we had a database administrator. Okay, so I approached that guy and I told him about my problem. I was panicking already. Okay, and good thing he had a backup. So we restored the database, and just a few minutes we can already see the website. So it was a nervous or panic moment for me before. So that's why I couldn't remember that scenario. By the way, who has dropped a certain database? Was the similar experience? WordPress. Ooh, cool. OG. Okay. All right. So, lesson number 3. Okay. Lesson number 3. This is. I would say after I got promoted as tech lead, it took me a while because I was to be promoted as tech lead, and I was still afraid when I accepted that promotion. Okay, so this is something that I've really learned, and I hope you guys can relate, like embracing challenges. So, I mean, not all is given that opportunity. So, think of it like as an opportunity that you are given, right? So, embracing challenges is important because it allows you to develop new skills, build resilience, boost confidence, foster innovation, and become more adaptable to change. Okay? So, are you guys familiar with the saying, jack of all trades, master of none? Okay? So, let me tell you this, that was me back then. Okay? So, I was actually working with different companies before, and then in each of these companies, they were we're using different technologies. So like PHP, Java, and then the next one go to .NET, and then the next one go back again to PHP. So I've learned that by transferring to different technologies or using different technologies, I learned that it was really hard and challenging for me because I had to relearn again. So and then I realized that I really need to master a certain technology, something that I'm passionate about. Okay, so this is also my advice, especially for the younger generations or junior engineers or even the seniors. You have to focus. You have to really master the basics, the fundamentals, the advanced features before jumping into a different technology. Nowadays, technology is fast. Like you can just see like new upgrades or new updates every now and then. It's like when you're using a certain technology, you can just note. You'll be surprised. Like after a few months, oh, there's a new release. There's a new version, right? So so that's about that. And so these are some of the popular tech personalities. So Jeff Bezos, right? So he's the founder of Amazon, a company that disrupted the retail industry and changed the way we shop. Okay, so he was able to stay ahead of the curve by embracing new technologies and constantly innovating. So embracing e-commerce, expanding to new markets, and investing to new technologies to support the company. And then the second one is Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs is the co-founder of Apple. So he faced numerous setbacks and challenges. He was actually ousted before, and then he came back in the company, and then his team still faced a lot of challenges, but eventually they were able to improve and solve those problems in the company. Okay, so for my last lesson number 4, okay, so this is find a noble purpose. Okay, so from the 4 lessons, to me this is the most important thing because we keep on working, we are busy in our lives, and we at the same time we also need to find a way or think how can we make a difference in the world. So finding a noble purpose is important because it can give us meaning and directions in our lives. So to help us stay motivated and resilient, fulfilled, and allow us to make a positive difference in the world. So by identifying what matters most to us and pursuing it with passion, commitment, we can lead a more purposeful and meaningful life. So to me, leadership is my noble purpose. So during my career, there were I noticed when I was when I was a junior engineer and then going to a mid-level tech lead, team lead, I noticed that there were only few leaders that really helped me during my career. So that's why leadership is what I truly believe in. And for me, serving others is a good sense of rewarding for me. So also in the military, they have this sense, this set of mindset as well. So of serving others first. Okay, so in the military, they would call their colleagues or their other teammates like brothers and sisters. That's how they treat them. So, having a mindset of serving others, they are willing to take a bullet for one another. So you can just imagine they're going to a battle, right? And you're having a lot of enemies, and somebody are attacking the base. So they would be willing to sacrifice themselves. Okay, so every position is actually vital. So it's up to you how you find your noble purpose. Okay, so as a leader, for me, I apologize for the pictures. So maybe okay. So yeah, this is my trainings and some of my events before. So yes, and some leadership initiative that we had. And for my last part, every job is noble. So carpenters don't just pound nails; they build houses. Chefs don't just cook meals; they nourish people and entertain them. And then lastly, cleaning staff don't just clean offices; they provide a productive environment in our office. And then I would like to add, WordCamp don't just gather us in one room, right? The WordCamp organizers. They basically provide us a good, a place for us to really unite, network, and learn from each other. So I think that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much.
So, Sherry?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So, let us ask our audience for some questions.
Hi. Good morning. I'd just like to ask the speaker. Sa tawag ni? In his fourth lesson, he said to find a noble purpose. What advice can you give to a lot of us here who is just starting to find or like nangapapa or seeking our purpose? Like how do we find that purpose? Please.
I think that would be the best advice that I can give you. So don't be afraid to try, even though that certain, category or experience or skill you're afraid to try. Just pursue it. Try being afraid. That's fine. I would say that it's okay to really fail many times, and I forgot to mention that failing is actually normal, and that's okay. Okay, so you can fail in anything. So the important thing is you learn, and failure is actually the best teacher. To improve.
All right, thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Sir John. We will have another question from the audience. Mamili na sad ko. Hala, di lagi sila mo tanaw na ko, mahadlo. All right. Okay, ano na lang. Raise your hand if you have a question for Sir John. Oh my God, I didn't know the participants today are really, really introverts? Shy? Okay, we have one question. Wait lang po. Miss Jess, okay.
Hi, sir. Well, my question is, do you have any regrets stepping away from development that's it.
Yes, thank you for that question. For me, no, I have zero regrets stepping up. Getting the management role, because I get to help. I get to mentor, I get to coach. Based on my experience before, it was really hard. I think you guys, or some people here also feel the same way, right? So along your career, you will also struggle, and it would be nice to have somebody to lead you, to give you, to direct you, to mentor you. So for me, this is actually an important role, and I wanna encourage, especially the Filipinos, in terms of the technical skills. We have that here. We have talented people in our country. In terms of communication, so we have also good communication as well, right? That's why a lot of call centers are here, BPOs. But in terms of leadership, I think that's something that we need to step up, right? Like in our organization, there's a lot of engineers, but they're not really stepping up. They're afraid. So I remember one time last year, I attended a conference, and there was an American, during the networking, American guy. He told me that in his company, he has 15 engineers, but they were struggling because no one wants to lead, right? So this is like a calling for everyone, for us Filipinos to really not be shy and embrace the leadership roles. So yeah, thank you.
I'm not an engineer. I'm familiar with WordPress, but still I need to learn more. I'm more into marketing. Marketing research is my background. So I think what you need to do is, you need to master whichever industry you're in, and then you try to step up. So that's what happened with mine. So it was a different role. So I was afraid, but then if you know what you're doing, it's gonna be just easy peasy. But one thing that is very challenging as a leader is when you try to handle people, because they have different personalities. So that's another thing that you have to master. So master your skill, and then master on how to handle people. So that's why I agree with Sir John. You need to enroll or sign up on classes because they're more focused on. They're more focused on handling people. That's the management. So some leaders, they know how to do their stuff, but then handling people, that's very difficult. So do that, the second step. So that's all.
All right, so our next speaker is the Director of Customer Lifecycle and WordPress Website Strategist at Sites at Scale Incorporated. Now, a leading WordPress development company based in Dumaguete, a Silliman University graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. She transitioned from healthcare to tech, where she discovered her passion for leadership and team development. Now, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our second speaker for today, Ms. Jonabeth Briones Logan, as she talks about how she grew to 1,000 WordPress websites and a 100+ member team. Please give her a warm round of applause.